One way to predict a story, and one way to find out what a story really is to follow the money. And now it seems that following the timeline is just as effective. The BBC has unearthed a particularly awkward discrepancy in Rachel Reeves' professional history, revealing that the Chancellor of the Exchequer had exaggerated the length of her tenure at the Bank of England by a rather generous 9 months, and this revelation compounds already mounting concerns about her credibility, as further scrutiny has exposed an expenses controversy from her time at the Halifax Bank of Scotland before she entered Parliament. Reeves has long cited her experience at the Bank of England as a pillar of her economic expertise, frequently alluding to her decade at the institution. In reality, she spent closer to 5.5 years there, including a year spent studying at the London School of Economics. And while the Chancellor's team has attributed the discrepancy to an administrative error, the revelation does little to inspire confidence in the accuracy and the integrity of her self-reported credentials. The Bank of England's refusal to confirm the month of her departure initially gave Reeves some breathing space. However, when photographic evidence surfaced showing her with HBOS staff at a March 2006 industry event 9 months before her purported Bank of England exit date, the narrative began to unravel. And further digging by the BBC has revealed that her subsequent role at HBOS ended rather unceremoniously, despite claims that she voluntarily left as part of restructuring. An employment compromise agreement signed in mid-2009 suggests otherwise. The agreement, coupled with an investigation into the spending habits of senior managers, raises fresh concerns about her financial conduct before entering politics. It's uncomfortable reading. And the BBC's expose also highlights an uncomfortable chapter from Reeves's HBOS tenure, an internal investigation into her and two colleagues' use of corporate funds. Not that she was found to have done anything wrong, but where there's fire, where there's smoke. A whistleblower's report, compiled in early 2009, accused the trio of misusing company credit cards under the guise of motivational gifts for staff. The expenditures in question included handbags, perfume, earrings, wine, taxi fares, and some gifts suspiciously directed towards fellow managers. And although the Chancellor's team maintains that she was unaware of any investigation, this assertion has been met with scepticism. The bank's HR department has confirmed that under Financial Conduct Authority regulations, any serious financial irregularities would have required formal scrutiny. And while no disciplinary action was taken against Reeves, the optics of her departure, paired with a legal settlement, suggest an arrangement more akin to damage limitation than a voluntary exit. Predictably, opposition parties have seized on the revelations with alacrity. Conservative leader Kemi Badenoch has called for Reeves to come clean about both her career history and the circumstances surrounding her HBOS departure. Meanwhile, Richard Holden, the shadow paymaster general, has gone as far as to say that Reeves has lost her credibility. I don't think she has. I don't think she had much anyway. I think what she's lost is her integrity. And that's a different matter entirely. Labour backbenchers have also been murmuring, with at least one MP anonymously telling The Telegraph that the Chancellor needs to answer questions about whether her expenses spending at HBOS was ethically defensible. The Taxpayers' Alliance, never one to shy away from a fiscal witch hunt, has declared that voters have a right to know whether Reeves used taxpayer-backed funds to finance her lifestyle. In response, Downing Street has maintained its line of unwavering support. Sir Keir Starmer's spokesperson has stated categorically that the Prime Minister has full faith in Reeves despite the revelations. So that means she's on the way out, doesn't it? And meanwhile, there's a story about her picking out pictures. I mean, the official line remains that the Chancellor is laser focused on reviving the economy after 14 years of stagnation, and that any concerns over her past employment are a distraction from that mission. Yeah, well, that's a way of keeping people shutting people up, isn't it? As if by way of deflection, another story has conveniently surfaced about Rachel Reeves' personalisation of number 11 Downing Street. Gone are the stately portraits of past chancellors and monarchs, and in their place now hang contemporary pieces reflecting themes of COVID anxiety and social isolation. The suggestion that this signals her intention to remain Chancellor for the long haul is hard to ignore. And while her artistic choices are not inherently scandalous, some look like the result of intimate cleaning. I mean, really, they are. Some of them are bizarre. The photographs I've seen, anyway. They offer a convenient contrast to the more pressing questions about her financial history. Maybe they will be the things that occupy the headlines tomorrow morning, but somehow I think not. In a political climate where integrity is currency, the discrepancies in Reeves' career history will not be easily dismissed. Unlike her taste in art, Labour has positioned itself as the party of competence and trustworthiness, and these revelations threaten to undermine that carefully curated image. While Starmer has been swift to reaffirm his confidence in Reeves, history suggests that political loyalty is often conditional. For now, the Chancellor remains in her post, continuing to insist that she is focused on growth and economic stability and developing her artistic sensibility. But as the scrutiny intensifies and more details emerge, maybe more paintings, the question lingers: has Rachel Reeves been too quick to measure the curtains of number 11 before really securing her place there beyond the short term?